news station. News Radio 950 WWJ.
Good evening, I'm Tony Ortiz.
And I'm Brooke Allen. It is our top breaking story tonight at 6:03. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted by a grand jury in New York on charges related to alleged hush money payments to an adult film star. Trump says the whole thing is a witch hunt. For more, we're joined live by Oakland University political science professor Dave Giulio. And Dave, what was your first reaction to this news?
Well, the first reaction has got to be just one word, and that is historic. Given that this is the first time a United States president has been criminally charged. There have been some that have come close in the past, but this is the first time that we've actually seen those charges filed against a former president.
Donald Trump says this is all about keeping him from running for president again. What do you make of his claims?
Well, I think that this I think the charges feed right into what he is looking for politically. He, as you both know, likes to take on the press and battle against the media. I think this is going to be another element of that. He's got even another sort of boogeyman he can target politically in the district attorney there in New York. I think this plays right into Trump's hands. I think you'll see him play up if there's an arrest, his fingerprinting, his mugshot, I think, will certainly be shared all over the place by the former president and his supporters.
So, Dave, his poll numbers have actually been better lately. So, I mean, in your opinion, is this all good for him?
In some ways, yes. I think it is, right? It rallies his base. It brings them back to his side if any of them had even left previously, but it gives them something to rally around in terms of his political support. And I think you'll see if his poll numbers don't continue to go up, they'll certainly hold steady, I would imagine.
We're joined by Oakland University political science professor Dave Giulio. And Dave, I've got to ask, there are some Republicans that we've heard who have moved away from Donald Trump who are starting to support other candidates like Ron DeSantis. Is this indictment and possible arrest a way for some of those guys to maybe swing back to the Donald Trump support system?
I think it very well could be, Tony. I think you could see some Republicans nationally and in important states across the country, in important leadership positions across the country, latch onto this as well as a to use the former president's term, as a witch hunt, as a politically motivated prosecution. And that could help Trump, again, coalesce some support from folks that he's lost previously.
Okay, so Dave, what about the Biden White House? I mean, should President Biden address this? Should they stay away from it? How do you think they'll handle this?
I think they are going to get asked about it on a daily basis, and I think you'll see them avoid talking about it as much as possible. I think they will demur and try to say that's up to the Republicans and to the former president to deal with themselves.
I'm going to ask you to look a little bit into your crystal ball, Dave. How much of an impact could this have on the upcoming 2024 presidential election?
Huge impact. Right? I think the more that Trump stays in the news, the more that he is in the spotlight, the more he likes it, and the more it can benefit him. I think a number of people will, this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for them in terms of their support. Not anybody in his base, as we talked about, but there might be some who say, okay, forget it, I'm done. Maybe I was thinking about supporting him, but no. While at the same time, as we said, right, his base, I think, is going to coalesce and come back together and really get behind him as he tries to defend himself against these charges.
And Dave, do you think that his base, so to speak, will rally for him in a way that we saw happen at the Capitol on January 6th?
That'll be an interesting test of the strength of support and the depth of support, right? I think, he has, as you both know, he called for protest when a week or so ago we thought that the indictment was going to come down. He called for folks to protest, and of course it didn't happen because there was no indictment. We'll see if he makes similar calls for his supporters to come out and rally for him. And if he does that, and it'll be an interesting measure of that strength, how many folks actually do that.
That's Oakland University political science professor Dave Dulio joining us on the live line here on WWJ. And Professor Dulio, thank you very much for the time, and thank you very much for the information on this breaking story.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
WWJ News time is 6:08. It is time for traffic and weather together on the 8th, and let's check in with O'Neill Stevens.